Hello again, part 2 of the Enchanted Forest theme. Okay, so today we're going to go with this colour selection of a woodland walk. Okay, yes, there will be a bit of sparkle in there. Well, it could have just rained and it'd be sparkling and all the light coming through the trees and dappling and little dewdrops, who knows. So we've got a grey on there, and we've got a brown or a dark plummy brown, and we've got this beigey colour, and we've got a green and a lighter green. Now I'm quite limited to the stock I've got, to be fair, when it comes to green, so I've had to improvise. Okay, and I have managed to put together some fibres to make a blend set up. I forgot my words. Don't lose your words, Joe. Right, so I'm quite limited into what greens I've got that actually worked well with this colourway. Okay, but I have improvised, so we'll see how it goes. But the grey I've gone for is a dark grey in that Dharma set dye that I was on about in the Q&A that was taught the other week. That I listed I think it was last week on my Patreon. So this one, and it is a Como that I've dyed in. So this is going to be my base predominant colour. Okay, and then on top of that we've got the llama in the different shades of greens going into a grey. So this is going to be quite a moody version. Then we've got the blended fibre with the silks and cashmere and llama in there. Okay, and that's going to bring out the plummy browns, just to add in a bit of highlight. I've also gone with some merino trilobal, some reflective, a nice sort of give you that, you know, when you're walking through the woods and it's just rained and the sun comes out and there's like a misty hue around the place. Well, I thought I'll go for that and make it a bit more mystical, and I've got some green trilobal. And then because I haven't got much in the way of fawn, I thought we'll go with some sari silk oil, which is really lovely to spin with, and it gives you a slightly textured look, or tweedy look in your fibre, and it's got really long strands in there, so it is really nice to spin with. So this is going to be a bit of a textured batt. So we've got one that's practical with the nylon in it from last week, and this week we're going to have a bit of a textured blend in there with a bit of bling. Yeah, and a bit more moody in its look and its representation in this one, because that's what I'm getting when I'm looking at that. It looks really moody. The sun's just starting to come out. It's starting to dry up a little bit. It's not as mucky on your feet, and the rain's just been. We're sticking with that, okay? Because that's all I've got. You got to improvise, and this is the whole point. It's about looking through your stash and seeing how you can interpretate the colours that you need to find, okay, and what you actually have in your stock. And I don't have masses of stock because obviously I've got listings to blend up for next week, haven't I? So we will do the highlight colours. Hold on a minute, let me just think. So I need 3s of everything because I've got quite a bit of that grey, and I think it'll just look a bit much if I have the grey done in 2 layers. So I will split my posh fibre into sections of 3s, and I will move my sari silk and split that as well, and then I will split this into 3s, and then I've got my green, which I can just paint on as I go along. I'm going to strip this down the middle into 3 groups again, and because I know that my llama fibre and woodland whiteface and bamboo will actually split down to 3, then I can do that. So I just take my time, just do this, gets all tangled up in itself. And get stuck. So there's one, so I'll just wrap that up into a bundle and put that near my card because I need that. I'll be using that one first. And again, split it in half. There we go. And again, wrap that around. Put that there. And then this one to one side. And then get my llama blend and split that into 3 It's not really a grey. It's got a plummy look to it. It's a grey dye, a purpley grey colour to it, tone, which gives it a little bit of warmth, but still moody at the same time. So we're going to go all the way down the bottom. And this one again, I want this to sort of feature more than anything else on the blend. So I'll just pop that over there. And again, put that over there. And then this one, so you can actually see it's not a true grey. It's really quite hard to show you, but it's got this reddy browny tinge to it. And you saw what colours I used for dyeing with, and that's what I've ended up with, is this deep plummy colour, which is fine. I don't mind. So we'll turn you around and we'll start blending. So we'll just get straight into it. So once again, just let the fibres follow its own transition across the drum harder in one full length. Because I've split the roving into thinner sections, it'll go on really quite easily. All the way to the end, couple of twists, and then start going back over again. There we go. So that's that done. Now, how do I want to layer this? So I need to think about, I obviously don't want this grey sparkle to be like obvious and in my face, like it is on there. So we've got these really dark colours, and then we've got these greens. So I need to save my green sparkle, but I need my plummy brown and the fawn. So I think what I'll do is I'll put this on next. So it's slightly hidden, but you'll see it as you spin with it. And it just tones down that grey a little bit more. And then I'm going to use half of my sari silk for this layer. There we go. So that's that on there. Now I'm going to get my rovings. I'm going to start putting them on. There's a subtle change in colour coming now. And then we've got this purpley, deep, rich colour in there. Because really, when you look at woodlands and you look at trees and colour perspectives, there's more plummy colours in there in the browns than there is like orangey tones. And then this one, I'm just gonna open it up. In actual fact, I'm gonna put my Angelina on, my trilobal on first, because if I put this on, it'll calm down the sparkle a bit. So I'm gonna take a chunk of that and I'm gonna just open it up. And I'm just going to carve that straight on. Now I'm going to go in with my luxury fibre, the cashmere in there. That's it. Get the last of the sari silk. There we go. Easy peasy, job's done. So we'll repeat that again. I just need to unravel this. That's actually quite nice. I quite like that. You need to see it from my angle. So I'm starting blending from this side because when I noticed that as I got to around about here, my wool started to thin out a bit more. So I need more of the grey over this side to even out the balance of weight. There we go. So repeat what I did last time. Some of this trilobal merino. It's like mixes of light grey and dark grey natural merino that's in this, with this multicolored stellina. Honestly, if you could just see it, I mean, look at that. Can you see that iridescence in there? Really lovely. And then again, we'll go in with the sari silk. Where are we at? Here we go. So we've got two pieces, one for now. Oh, that's a bit much. There we go. So what I'm going to do now is quickly go around the back and pack that in. Stick on the llama next. There we go. The llama, I started with the green over this side. So I can remember to repeat that. Then some of this, open it up. Okay, go in with my other half of my sari silk. In actual fact, I've done that the wrong way around, but that's fine because I can remember to do that on my top layer. There we go. By using my packer brush, it means that I get to fit on more fibre. There you go. Just this time what I'm going to do with this is open it up a little bit, make sure it's fluffed out a bit more, partly because it's getting to that point now, any fibres I start adding on, they're going to want to attach themselves to the liquor, this bit here. So what I want to do is open up my fibres, and it just gives them a little bit more of a chance of going straight onto the back of the drum carder rather than attach themselves to the front liquor because they're all squashed together. So in other words, it makes the fibre thicker that you're trying to push through. So if I flatten them out and draft them open, then in hindsight, what you're wanting to do is make the fibres flatter so there's no resistance. Doesn't always work, but it doesn't harm. It doesn't do no harm to do it. And it's just a little bit of prep that takes a few minutes to do so you can get on with the job in hand. There we go. Okay, and repeat. So get me sparkly merino blend. Add that in there. Sari silk, get half of that. Okay, then with that I want to go back in again with my llama blend. Start from this side. Now you can see already it's starting to stick to the liquor. I'll sort that out with my carder when I pack the fibres down. That's just my carder trying to tell me that it's had enough. Don't want no more. And I'm giving it, feed me Seymour. Feed me now. Right, get my packer brush on and start getting that off the liquor. Right, so lastly, my hand-dyed trilobal. There we go. Something plasticate in there. So that I just pulled out some plastic and a thread out the sari silk. You always get bits and pieces. I opened up some of that llama earlier on and split it, and there was a seed still inside it. So I'm going to go on with this, a luxury fibre. And then the last. And one more quick packet down. There we go. It goes there. Okay. Right, so here we go. There's plummy, really deep, rich aubergine colours in there. And the back, whoop, has got all these greys. Just fold it over, and again. go. One woodland themed. It's not got all the greens in there, but like you, I haven't always got the stocking, but I have got that plummy brown in there. I've got the slate grey that's in there, the really dark grey. There's hints of lighter green shade, and then you've got the fawny colour in there as well. Either way, at the end of the day, if you can get near as dynamic to a colourway that you actually, I like the look of that. Sometimes they're accidental blends. You're never able to repeat it again. But once you've done it, you're like, oh, I really like that. So for me, in my mind's eye, this is a 50 colourway. So you've got roughly 50% is of this dark grey. And then the rest of the colours made up from greens and these aubergine colours. Okay, so I imagine that when that's been spun up, that your predominant colour is going to be that dark grey all the way through, but then you're going to get this gradient change of these 3 shades of green all the way through to this plummy aubergine browny sort of colour. Okay, so you'll have this consistent colour change going through with the grey. That's how I imagine it in my mind's eye. I'd really love it if you could post some pictures and tag me on Instagram, and then I could see what you ended up with at the end of it. It's really great to see that, but there you go. So there's one more, and this one will be called Forest of Dean. We'll call this one Forest of Dean. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed that today. Maybe picked up a couple of tips, or just like to listen to me babble away to myself. Thank you very much for your support, and we will catch you this time next week, next Sunday, for the last episode of Storyteller Art Bat's The Enchanted Forest. Take care. See you then. Doodle pips.